These are the test corrections for your Chapter 4 test taken December 1st, 2016. This is version C and D. Question number 1. Which similarity statement for the triangles? If you did triangle sum theorem, you would have recognized that 53 and 60, this would have given you 67. Well, if I have 60 and 67, which is those two here, then the other one's going to be 53. Then you could just match it up. D corresponds to G because they both have 53 degrees. So if you want, you could do something like that. C corresponds to F. And E corresponds to 67, so the other 67 is H. And anything that looks like in this order, D, C, E, G, F, H, it's not going to be exactly like this, but this one does match up, right? C to F, D to G, and E to H. Question number 2. Complete the statement for the corresponding parts. I'm going to highlight this part right here. This is your congruence statement. I'm sorry, this is your similarity statement. The similarity statement is more powerful than the picture because the pictures are twisted around. So if you label it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, Q is the second letter, B is the second letter. Your answer is angle B. Now, you may have been marked wrong if you just wrote B. If you don't write the angle sign, B is not an angle, B is just a point. We learned that back in Chapter 1, so just copy what they have on the other side. You saw this on your quiz previously. Angle C is the third letter, that corresponds to the third letter, that would be P. Angle C corresponds to angle P. AB, first and second letter, that would be first and second letter, that would have to be RQ. If you put QR, that would be incorrect. Those are 2 points apiece. Question number 3, in the triangle below, angle A is congruent to angle D. So they already give you that. So I'm going to highlight that in green. So this is given information. What would prove that triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF? Okay. So if I look at this, all of these are sides. And what they've done is they've kind of done something like a big over a small. They're trying to show you that the sides are proportional. Well, if you look at G, that's the only one that matches up. AB to DE. So if you call this one big, this one small. AB to DE. That's this side here. AC, so from the big to the small, that also works. Then you have SAS, SAS. Okay. Question number 4. Which of the following would not be sufficient to prove that triangle ABC and triangle DEC are similar? Okay. Now, if you said triangle DCE is a right triangle, so here is DCE, and if you said that one is a right triangle, you would get angle-angle similarity. But this question is saying which of the following would not be sufficient based off this picture. If you said AD is equals to DC, okay, you're not even saying two triangles or two sides of the triangle, so this would not show that the sides are proportional. Okay, so this one is your answer. If you put angle CAB and CDE, you would basically be making marks up here, and then you would have the same thing, angle-angle similarity. Remember, this is your reflexive, and this is just showing you all of the sides. So CB to CE, that would work. So they're saying this side and then this long side, CA to CD. So you would basically doing SAS or SA and then S. Okay, remember the keyword's not. Question number 5, solve the proportion. All you have to do is cross multiply. You have 6x, 5 times 30. The factors of 30 are 5 and 6. When you divide the 6's on both sides, they will cancel. And you have 5 times 5, which is 25. Remember, you can always take that number and put it back into your proportions. And then if you ever reduce this, you'll recognize you'll get back to 5, 6. Question number 6 is probably the most missed question of the multiple choice. In the diagram below of right triangle ABC, altitude BD is drawn to hypotenuse AC. AC is 16, so it has a line, and CD is 7. Well, if I subtract 16 minus 7, I know that this length is 9. So if I made this triangle number 1, this is your short leg and this is your long leg. Short leg, long leg. 7, then X. If you made this one triangle number 2, you would have the short leg would be X and your long leg would be 9. Okay? Now if you think about it, you actually only need 2 triangles. The only reason why you need 2 triangles is because you have both the long legs and the short legs. Okay? You don't need the third triangle. You don't need the third triangle because you have long leg to long leg, short leg to short leg. So if you just made this triangles 1 to 2, so you have X over to 9, same position, 7 to X, right? Cross multiply, you get X squared equals 63. You need to take the square root of both sides. X equals the square root of 63. The factors of 9 are a pair, 3 and 3, so that 3 comes out. Your answer is X equals 3 radical 7. Choice 1 is your answer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That side was worth 16 points. Turn the page. Triangle ABC is and triangle FHG. You have to go in the same order. Are the triangles similar? The answer is yes. Explain your reasoning. ABC and FHG are similar by side, side, side similarity. Now, if you just wrote this, I gave you 3 out of 4. You had to show me they have the same scale factor. The reason why that's important, because a lot of you guys missed this question. SRT and EDF. Okay? So that basically means a lot of students wrote SAS. But SAS is incorrect because the sides are not proportional. 8 to 6, 10 to 8. If you reduce them, 4/3 is not the same as 5/4. They're not the same exact number, which means that the triangles are not similar because they are not proportional. So if you got this one correct, I gave you 2 points. If you got another one correct, 3 points. If you wrote yes or no, doesn't matter. You had to show about the sides. Question number 9. Error analysis. Describe and correct the student's error in writing the similarity statement. Okay? Well, the first thing I did is I reorientated my picture. So if you redrew your triangles correctly, I gave you 2 points. The next thing I did is I looked at my sides. And when I looked at my sides, 15 to 20 and 18 to 24, you'll recognize that they are proportional. They have the same scale factor. So the student was correct when they wrote SAS, SAS. That's correct. The only mistake the student made was their similarity statement. Look at it. A, B, C. 1586 to 18. This would be R, Q, P would be the correct answer. The mistake the student made was the letters were out of order. Order does matter. Now, if you kept PQR, you could also have written, so PQR is going this direction, then it would have been CBA would also be acceptable. Okay. Question number 10, word problem. You are standing 15 feet away from a building A and 50 feet away from building B. Building A has a height of 90. Okay, so I have 2 triangles here, similar. My first triangle is this big one. I have 15, I'm sorry, I guess it's a small triangle. because the numbers are smaller. I have 15 and 90. Here's 15 and 90. Well, 15 is the short leg. The short leg over here is 50. I need to find the height of building B, which is this one, which would be called X. I chose to call it triangle B over triangle A. So X over 90. The other side for angle B would be 50 over 15. Remember, you want to work with smaller numbers, so my factors are 5 and 10, 5 and 3. Cancel your 5s. You'll get 10 and 3. I can cross multiply here. I get 3x equals 90 times 10. 90 is 3 times 30. Cancel out my 3's. 3 divided by 3 will cancel. You're left with x is equal to 300. If you redraw your triangles correctly, you got 2 points out of the 4. And if you got the correct answer, 300, I gave you 4 points. If you set up your proportions correctly, you got this answer wrong, gave you 3 points. And the answer for number 11 is both animals.